Alright, I want to let you guys know about user origin and why you may or may not want to use it. I've always used absolute coordinates as far as LightBurn goes because it always starts down here from X, Y, 0, and I've always had a reference down there from the very start. So I just reference my job down here to the 0 point. And in absolute coordinates, wherever you put it here on the screen, that's where it's going to burn. Okay, so I made the portable laser workstation, and it was referenced to basically your home point. And on the machines that I have, it actually coincides, but due to there's a little bit of inaccuracy in the little, literally 10-cent micro switches I use for homing. They have little springy tabs on them. Anyway, it goes down, it hits those things, it says okay, that's 0, it pulls off. They have set 5 millimeters pull off, and then it says okay, that's your origin, and then in absolute coordinates it references off of that. That's the red dot. So in any wasteboard situation that you have a fixed home point, which is what we're going for, because we don't ever want to have to measure or reference or frame or any of that nonsense. We're just going to put everything down here and it's going to burn perfectly to the measurements. We can send the laser over and burn something 10 millimeters over and 50 millimeters up, or whatever we want. So anyway, to make this match your wasteboard, like I said, even if you got my thing or you made your own or whatever, you need that to coincide with your 0 point that's in the physical location. So what you do is you set your laser to fire, and so you just fire your laser right here. I'm not going to do it, it'll make it noisy. And then you jog it over until it's lined up with your start point exactly. And then what you're going to do, let's say I'm going to move it right now. I got mine to move by right here, distance of 50. So I moved it over, the laser moved, you can hear it making a lot of noise. And I'm going to go, okay, set origin. So in the console, which I should have had up, let's put this up. Console, you're going to be able to see that it wrote 50 right there. That's where it moved to, 50 and 0. And then when we hit set origin, that made its new start point there. So this green dot in real life is going to be right here, 50 over. But that's not what we want. Usually you're going to be correcting in the sub-millimeter area. They give you out to the 10th of a millimeter. This 0 and 0.03 X and Y, that's the way mine was by default when it hits the home point. Don't know why, but anyway, that makes it exactly on. And another thing in these, I kind of had to wrap my head around the whole grabbing the green dot there. It's doing the same thing as absolute coordinates. It's just you're not seeing it, and it's actually an advantage because now I can go, let's center this on the screen. Excuse me, center it, select it. Let's center this on the screen. Let's center this on the screen. And that's how I usually work anyway, because you're always making things symmetrical. I used to have to group them and move them down here. Now I don't. It's always going to start right there where I defined my user origin, which is just shove something up against the alignment rail and print it. And in real life, how it's going to print is going to look like this on the wasteboard. Well, not this will actually be centered, but before I would have to group them and then put them down there to center it. Just not necessary now. I can leave it right there, and it's going to start there on my work surface. A couple more things that are good on this Yeah, you got to have your job origin down here to the left. I still use cut selected graphics. I like that. It keeps me from making so many mistakes. You don't want to use, don't confuse that with use selected origin. That's a different, that's for your starting point. Like if you wanted to start somewhere different on your cut there, you just want to set user origin, and so you can save it is once your laser's there, like it's sitting at 50.03 and 0.03 right now. That's where it's sitting on the board, and I can go okay, get position, and then let's say we wanted to add that to here. We could go new, add new, and it's right there. We could name that and save it. You can see I got a Falcon 40 watt and a 22 watt, and it's actually at X10 just because I was playing with it, just testing out to make sure I was saying wasn't complete bullshit. But yeah, so you just save your coordinates right there. That's the real one for me, 0.03 and 0.03. And so I select that, I say okay, and that's, you can send it to go, so it's going to move over there. And like I said, it records where the thing actually is when I hit set origin. You got to make sure it's where you want it. And I hit set origin. It wrote it right down here somewhere. Yeah, 0.025, 0.025. They only give you 3 decimal points. My past the decimal, my much more expensive CNC goes out to 1/10,000. But then again, there's a $28,000 price cap. So anyways, that's how you set it up, and then like just leave this wherever you want to leave it, and just know that it's going to start right there on your machine once you have it set to that point. If you set that point up here, it'll start right here. You could set it anywhere, and that's where I think they did kind of a not great job of explaining the use of it, and even in LightBurn's tutorial, I had to kind of wrap my head around it. But where it really comes into its own is being able to use the center point to align everything. We got that all centered up. Now I don't have to regroup these and move them down here. I can just leave them where they're at. It's going to start burning from this point right where I referenced that. So anyway, you guys have any trouble setting up your thing, just give me a call. I can maybe explain it a little better. But I just wanted to put this out there because, like I said, all these manufacturers across the CAM programs, they do the same thing, but they word it differently, and their software may work a little differently. But anyways, have fun. See ya.